That's okay.
As I was saying, my apologies for not turning on my microphone. I would respectfully suggest to the board that as this matter will involve legal advice to the regional solicitor, that we convene into private session for the express purpose of discussing this request, particularly as it relates to any statutory requirements to have an election at the first meeting of the board as required in the Community Safety and Policing Act. So with that suggestion, I await the direction of the board.
I'm going to pursue a seconder to the motion if I can.
You don't want to?
Yeah, but you gotta get a seconder to do.
I need a seconder for the motion first, don't I?
Mhm.
So in my view, procedurally, that is one way of going. The other way would be to defer that consideration of that motion pending the discussion that it's my suggestion that the board consider going into private session. But as always, in these matters, I'm in the board's hands.
So in view of the fact that this doesn't constitute a change, that it leaves things as they are till next.
The Act, as I read it, under Section 36, says the members of a police service board shall elect a chair at the board's first meeting in each year. I like to, as this was came up rather suddenly, I'd like to just have the chance to consider that, to discuss that with the board, and to consider any potential ramifications that may flow from having a meeting that has been constituted not in accordance with Section 36(1). I just need to think about that. But again, it is, as always, within the board's purview to proceed as it will. I think it would not be. It might be advisable to just pause for a minute on that and just let me offer my legal advice in the private session, subject to the as always to the board's wishes.
Where do we go from?
All right. Okay, move a motion. I'll second move a motion.
You have to use your mic and you have to start it. Yeah.
Sorry, bear with me a moment. Okay, so I'm going to call the meeting back to order and we're going to move back to the election of the
Okay,
chair.
motion to reconvene, moved. I need a seconder on the reconvene. Thank you.
Okay.
Call the vote.
All in favor? Carried.
Now do the elections.
Okay. So in accordance with Section 36 of the Community Safety and Policing Act and the board's procedural bylaw, both of which require members of the board to elect a chair at the board's first meeting of the year, I'll act as the presiding officer. Until the board elects its chair for 2026. I'll now proceed with the election. I now invite nominations for the position of board chair.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I'm not quite sure what to call you today. Anyways, with that, I'd like to appoint member Steve Pellegrini as chair of the Police Service Board until November 15th, 2026.
Okay, I have a mover. Is there a seconder? Mr. Corlucci? Okay, the nomination seconded. Mayor Pellegrini, do you consent to your nomination?
I do.
Are there any further nominations? Okay. So hearing none, is there a motion that nominations for the position of chair be closed? A seconder, please. Mr. Faisal. All in favor? Carried. There a motion that Mayor Steve Pellegrini be elected as chair of the Police Service Board until the board's first meeting in until November
15th,
15th,
2026.
2026. Mover, please. Thank you. Mr. Faisal, a seconder. All in favor? Carried. I declare Mayor Steve Pellegrini as chair of the Police Services Board until November 15th, 2026. Congratulations, Chair Pellegrini.
Thank you.
Thank you. And with that, I invite nominations for the position of Vice Chair of the Board. And I'd be pleased to nominate Mayor or Chair Jackson, Vice Chair Jackson. So seconder, Member Cartelucci. Are there any further nominations for Vice Chair? Hearing none, there is now a motion that the nominations be closed, moved by Member Purchell, seconded by Member Cartelucci. All in favor? That carries. And it is now the motion that Regional Councillor Jackson be appointed as Vice Chair of the Police Services Board until the board's meeting in November.
To November 15th.
November
Add them
15th.
Together.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And that's moved by myself, seconded by Member Faisal. All in favor? That carries. I now declare Regional Councillor and Deputy Mayor Jackson as Vice Chair of the Police Services Board until the meeting in November. Congratulations, Vice Chair Jackson. With that, I'm moving on quickly here. Disclosure of interest, seeing none. Confirmation of the minutes from the November 26th meeting. Member Cartelucci, Member Faisal, any errors or omissions? All in favor? That carries. Presentations, we have just one. Chief.
Thank you, Chair, and congratulations to you and our Vice Chair, and good morning, members of the board. Happy New Year to everybody. I think it's the last time I'm probably going to say it, but we're almost getting to the end of the month. So I won't belabor this. This is a presentation, as you can see, on our new mission and vision. Both our General Counsel, Jason Fraser, Inspector Mark Lau had led this project for the better part of at least a year, probably even more than that, in preparation for our new strat plan, which will come and this will be part of. So without further ado, I'll turn it over to both Jason and Mark to take you through it. We're on a time crunch, rapid fire. So over to you guys.
Thank you, Chief. Mr. Chair, through you, good morning, members of the board. Very pleased to be presenting sort of the culmination of our mission and vision project. And let me begin with the why. Why is it that we're choosing now to update mission and vision? And it goes back to a conference that the chief and I and other members of YRP had attended back in 2023. And we were at a presentation by Simon Sinek, a well-known author and presenter on all things organizational leadership. And through that presentation, it brought us to a conversation on YRP's own mission and vision statements. And let me begin by saying that nothing wrong with our current mission and vision, but we've had it for the past 20 years, at least 20 years. And as we looked at it over the last number of years, our organization has been updating a number of our guidance documents, all with one sort of consistent thread, and that's these two pillars of our people and our community. And we've updated values, we've updated our hiring processes, our promotional processes, all with these pillars in mind. And as we looked at our current mission and vision, we realized that mission and vision had gone a little bit out of sync with all of these other guiding documents, and it was time for a refresh. And so this is where we began this journey. So to give you an idea of how we've gotten to here, it began with putting together a team, and our team was a cross-section of members of our community plus members of York Regional Police to develop this new mission and vision. We brought in consultants, but I want to be clear that the consultants were brought in to help us with the heavy lifting because there's a lot of research that goes into this. There's giving us some instruction and guidance in terms of how do we create mission and vision, but ultimately The consultants gave us guidance, but we created the mission and vision. This is a mission and vision created by members of York Regional Police, by members of our community, for YRP and its community. And so as part of that project, we went through 3 key phases: a research phase in phase 1, and then a consultation phase, so that we did some broad consultation with members of the public and with members of YRP, and then ultimately a facilitation phase where we came together, brought together all of the data that came through phases 1 and 2 to ultimately draft and develop the mission and vision that hopefully will take us through the next couple of decades at YRP. So with that in mind, I'm going to turn it over to my colleague, Inspector Lau, to give us a bit of what we found at the research and development phase.
Thank you, Jason. So a pestle analysis was conducted to examine factors influencing the external environment of YRP. This assessment identified numerous findings across 6 external landscape factors: political, economic, social, technological, legal, and environmental. This helped us to identify important trends, challenges, and changes that could impact how YRP serves the community. A SWOT analysis was also conducted as part of the environmental scan to inform the project. The SWOT analysis summary underscores our strong community confidence and low severity of crime as strengths. It also highlights the necessity to address racial biases and gaps in representation as potential weaknesses. Additionally, identifies opportunities to cultivate a diverse workforce amid challenges posed by negative media portrayals and public mistrust. The full pestle and SWOT reports are available and can be shared upon request. Next slide. 5 key themes emerged from the review of vision, mission, and value statements from across police services in Canada. The top themes are community, safety, professionalism and excellence, inclusion and diversity, crime and prevention. Our new mission and vision statements are aligned with those of police services across Canada. Engagement opportunities were extended to all members of YRP and to community members, including our partners, community members and partners. From April to June 2025, we employed surveys, focus groups, interviews, World Cafe style town halls to engage a total of 631 participants, 380 internal plus, and over 240 community members and partners. Following the engagement sessions, 3 facilitation sessions were held with the Mission and Vision project team from July to August 2025. Members of the Mission and Vision project team were intentionally assembled to encompass diverse perspectives, both internal and external. The diverse composition integrated personal experiences, professional insights, and community viewpoints throughout the process. Now I'm going to turn it back over to Jason.
For the moment we've all been waiting for. So this is the new vision statement for York Regional Police. Leaders in policing by meeting the public safety needs of today and tomorrow. This is the statement that we feel resonates. It meets all of our evaluation criteria. And ultimately, if we look at a vision statement for an organization as being that North Star for the organization that we are constantly reaching for, this is what we've hit on as our new North Star. In terms of our final mission statement, we will enhance public safety by supporting our communities and our people through continuous evolution and innovation. Again, meets our evaluation criteria, but also you'll see in both vision and mission, as much as our 2 pillars, our people and our community are the pillars that we rest all of our guiding documents on. We also wanted to be abundantly clear that the predominant focus of our organization is public safety. So public safety has to be that common thread through everything that we do. And we find that common thread in both our new vision and our mission. And also, when we look at this idea of continuous evolution and innovation, one of the things that came through in our research and in speaking to both community members and our people is this idea that they were actually pretty happy with our current mission and vision, that there was a risk that we recognize that we don't want to be seen as, I guess, throwing out the baby with the bathwater, and that we want to understand that we want to innovate, but at the same time, we understand that this organization has a proud history, a proud tradition, and that we have built a lot in the 50 or so years of this organization that we want to build upon. So that's the evolution. we're not abandoning our history. We're not abandoning what we've done so far. That's our platform. That's our base. That we're going to move forward with. So that's the evolution. The innovation is recognition that we are a progressive police service. We do pride ourselves in being cutting edge. And so we want to both build with what we have, but we're also looking to be those leaders in policing both today and tomorrow. And with that, we're happy to take any questions that the board may have.
Thank you very much, Mr. Fraser. That was quick. I think we're all excited. Love what you've come up with. Yeah. Questions from the board? If not, motion to receive Vice Chair Jackson, Member Purchell. All in favor? Thank you, gentlemen. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The Crime Stopper presentation is being deferred. Seconded by Member Cardelucci. All in favor? There's no deputations, communications. There's 2 there for receipt. I'll ask Member Faisal, Member Taylor to move receipt of both correspondence. All in favor? Consideration and adoption of reports. The chief has asked for 9193. Are there any others that people wish? Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I also would like to speak to 93, 96, and 97. Thank you.
All right. So if there are no others that need to be pulled, that would be adoption of the recommendations for 92, 94, and 95. Moved by Member Bodenstein, seconded by Member Taylor. All in favor? That carries. Item 9.1, Chief.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and through you, I'm going to ask our CFO, Jeff Channel, to just speak to this. It's a significant purchase, and I think it's worthy of just a brief briefing to the board. Jeff.
Thank you very much, Chief, and good morning to the board. This purchase is in front of you, subject to the direct purchase pieces in the purchasing bylaw requiring board approval greater than $150,000. Since March of 2023, with the replacement of the helicopter, air support and financial services have reviewed a number of business changes to the delivery of helicopter services. The board will recall in the 2026 budget approved in-house pilots and maintenance. So we're bringing those services in-house over time. This report deals with engine retrofits, and traditionally they work on a schedule of flown hours. They occur every 3 years or so. Traditionally, these retrofits have been paid for through the capital budget, which require a procurement process to each retrofit and related approvals that align with the operational timelines to avoid any downtime of the helicopter. This report speaks to the financial implications. The cost of bringing this into an annual cost is $352,000 annually. There is a buyback of $643,669, and that is because we have a retrofit upcoming shortly. So we're buying back the period back to March of 2023 when we first put it out. So this new approach, again, will streamline procurement with operational timelines. Parts availability is the main factor here because we're going directly with the manufacturer for engine support with Safran. I'm available for any questions that the board might have on the contract.
Any questions, Mayor Taylor or Member Taylor?
Thanks very much. I guess I'll just admit I have absolutely no way of knowing whether this is reasonable or not. So, but we have to approve it. So maybe you can help me a little bit. Like, what's the cost of an engine? Is this comparable to other maintenance plans in other jurisdictions, or anything that would help me put this in context?
Perfect. So the board has owned and operated a helicopter prior to this helicopter. These costs are in line with what we have historically paid for these engine retrofits. It's just paid differently because it's paid every year. That's really the only change financially from what we saw in the past. Again, engines cost more to overhaul as the plane ages. So that's the other thing that this helps standardize the cost through the life of at least the next 5 years. We'll be evaluating this contract, Mayor, determine whether we continue, but this is likely our approach going forward on this new helicopter.
And do we have some understanding of other other than our past experience? Does this compare in the industry or?
Yes, so there really are the two approaches in industry. One is to take a package like this with the manufacturer that we're now recommending for the board. The other one is, again, ad hoc retrofits. We are flying the helicopter on more of a routine basis right now. We know what these milestones are, and that informs part of the decision. Where you fly the helicopter more ad hoc, it creates this administrative piece where we have to be in front of the board with an approval for a retrofit in time to do the retrofit before we have any downtime, which could occur. The helicopter can be grounded, frankly, if we don't have these timelines lined up. This now eliminates that whole problem.
And you're saying that our past experience over a 5-year period, but the other approach is similar in dollar amounts.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? I'll ask Member Taylor and Member Faisal to move the recommendations. All in favor? 9-3, I have the Chief and Vice Chair Jackson.
Do you want to start or?
Yeah, if I could,
Sure.
I think it would save a lot of discussion. As you can see, members, there is 3 recommendations here. I'd like to move number 1, and I'd like to defer 2 and 3 to a future board meeting for further discussion. So we're on 9-3. There's 3 recommendations. My motion, Member Taylor, is to move number 1 and to defer recommendations 2 and 3 to a future board meeting to allow for further discussion.
All right.
I need a seconder.
You got a seconder? You got Member Bodenstein. Chief, do you want to just speak to it quick and then I'll call the.
Yeah, I know this one is a discussion we have. We had it last year. We're having it this year. It does fall within the policy of the current policy of the board, which was last updated in October of 2023. But I think there's a need as well to update this policy one more time because it references the Police Services Act. And obviously, we're operating now under the Community Safety and Policing Act. But I don't think it's going to change anything in the policy at some point anyway. So we've allocated the totals that we were recommending the 140,000 go towards. There's no change from last year with the exception of the amount. So unless there's any questions, it's in section, in the analysis, section 4 highlights the breakdown of each of the events that we're involved in. And in all of those requests, they're key partners to YRP and initiatives we've been part of for many, many years.
Excellent. So the recommendations are before us are to move 1 and defer 2 and 3 to subsequent meeting, future meeting. All in favor? That's carried. 9-6, Vice Chair Jackson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just with this, and it's when you're looking at the scheduled conferences and training, I'm not, I will move that to report. My question is with respect to the CAPG board meeting in August. There is a time where the CAPG will come back to the police service and ask if I sit on the board of CAPG. And so then I think it comes in February or March. So I'm just staffed to say that should come forward. And if not, we should be going out to CAPG because I would like to stand for re-election on representing Ontario on the CAPG board. So I just wanted to just add that in. So I'll move staff's recommendation on this, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Seconded by Member Purcell. All in favor? That carries. 9-7.
Thank you. It's the Linda show. I'm trying to be as super quick as possible, Mr. Chair. Thank you. Of course, my computer just blanked out on me. I am going to move the request from Yellow Brick House with respect to that. But I also, Mr. Chair, would like to add, and I have shared this morning with all members information from Safe Hope Home. With respect to a donation. I apologize for the late notice. It came to my attention their gala is next week. Many of you know about the good work of Safe Hope Home. If not, I'm sure there's lots of people who sit across from me who can share what great job that they do. And Mr. Chair, my recommendation is to give them a $10,000 donation, but with no request for tickets. Because I know that York Regional Police, I'm attending, and we don't need to, I think I want to give them just a straight $10,000 donation. Recently in the last year, their house was struck by lightning and burned to the ground. And so they're in the process now of rebuilding a new home in a new location, which I can't divulge. And, but I'm hoping, this is a wonderful charity and something that, this charity, of all the charities that we give to, I think, works very closely with York Regional Police, and we have a really close relationship with Jasmine Defina, the executive director. So I'm hoping that my colleagues will support this $10,000 donation.
Thank you. Do you have a seconder for that?
Don't yet, but maybe, there we go, Carlucci.
Member Carlucci. So that is item A, and item B will reflect the 10,000 from the boards for this. Member Taylor.
Yeah, I guess I'm struggling with this. I've struggled with this issue before about how we support or fund or the process for doing so. You know, I have numerous galas. I also have a shelter that's being. I mean, I don't know what the process is, but I have brought 2 or 3 items here forward today, and so I keep asking for some sort of structure to this, and I know we have to do certain things by, but I'm just confused by how we go about doing it, or is there a process that we would submit in advance to, and we could all submit? And
I'll get Jacqueline to speak to it.
So the board's policy is there's an application process and there's a deadline. So we ask that these organizations provide that completed application with the request, and it'll come to the board at the next scheduled meeting. So we're on a quarterly basis. Right now it'll be January, then the next one, sorry, will be April, and then June, and then I believe October. So, and if there's reasons in between, like if events fall in between these deadlines, then the chair has delegated authority and can approve these in between.
I guess maybe there's a circumstance where it's incredibly urgent, but I'm trying to find some structure that, and I just think we should have, you know, whether it's in our policy or not, I think it should be that the charitable organizations should apply themselves, and they apply by the deadline. It's quarterly, you said? So it's not like
quarterly right now.
Not even
It used to be
annual.
monthly.
It's you only have to wait a few months. And so, you know, I don't know if we can consider looking at this policy. I've asked about it before, but I think that's a much better process. So I would like to, I guess I would like to either move a motion that we have the policy brought back for discussion, or that we amend the policy so that it's a requirement that charitable organizations apply directly through the application process.
So are you asking for SC as well? Because I'll put that in there as well. Just that.
Yeah, I'd like the policy brought back for discussion about ways we can address.
All right. Any further questions, comments? All in favor? That carries.
Mr. Chair, can I just add one comment to it?
Sure.
Not about the policy, just about Safe Hope Home. And I think it's, you know, Deputy De Silva, Karen Richards, myself met with Jasmine Defina, who, and we're not going to get into the location. I think we've already discussed that will come forward, I think, at their gala, perhaps. We had approached, and I think I want to say this publicly because we need to thank people who do step forward as well. And so Ms. Defina came forward with a list of items that needed to be in the house, upgraded, repaired, whatnot. We had engaged partners to York Regional Police that have supported us before, Matheson Construction and the Quariat family, who support us through our Police Appreciation Night as well. And they are going to support Safe Hope Home as well by addressing all of the items on the list that were provided to us to facilitate or the conversation with them, and support Safe Hope Home as well. So I just think it's a good news story, and it's worthy of thanking those folks publicly. And I'll be doing a video because I can't be at the gala, but we're going to more publicly thank them because they are coming forward and doing all of that work on behalf of Safe Hope and all the work they do for human trafficking. So
Excellent. Thank you. Good. So, you got to go? Okay, I got to move quick here. I'm going to ask, I'm sorry, I know Ryan's here ready to present, but I'm going to ask that the board policy updates be deferred to the next meeting. There's other business here, so I'm going to ask for the deferral. Member Faisal, you'll second that. All in favor? That carries. Other business, there's a February board meeting and the February workshop date. So the February board meeting, we need to change.
To February 18th because it conflicts with the PAO conference. It's the joint conference that was in the conference report. So we were going to suggest to be consistent with our procedure bylaw the previous Wednesday, which is February the 18th.
So everybody good with that?
I'll bring on the procedures from.
Can you
you just do
log
that?
in, just zoom in? Okay,
And that's going to be
Not. It'll be the same, exact same format.
thank you. Perfect. February workshop date.
So I'm going to defer to Mackenzie because she's been working on the date.
Okay, so yes, earlier last week, I sent an email out looking for members to confirm their availability on the 27th of March, which is not available for any members of regional council. So I'm looking for, so typically Fridays are days that council members don't have meetings. I don't know about everybody else's schedule, but once we settle on maybe 3 potential dates, I will work with the ELT admin team to try and settle on one final date if members are okay with that. So March 27th was the one date that the ELT was all available. But if we need to, possibly, I maybe would
So
just
sorry,
need to,
I just wanted to add that the workshop now will be related to the strategic plan. So I'm just not sure if deferring for too long is going to affect the timeline. Steve Pinto is here if he wants to say something.
Through you, Chair. So ideally, we'd like to have the business or the strategic plan published by June the latest, given that we are now delayed with the new plan. So if we could try to arrange a workshop with the board and the ELT in the month of March or April, the latest, that would be ideal. Thank you.
All right.
I'm looking at Fridays. The 3rd is Good Friday. Obviously can't do that. What about Friday, August, August? Wouldn't that be lovely? Thinking of warm weather, April the 10th. Friday, April the 10th. I have, Chair, you and I have, yeah,
I know,
that's,
but that,
yeah, whatever. We could change that.
Yep.
Oh, it is executive though.
but yeah, but we can do it at remote there and then go right in.
It's,
Start at 10.
yeah. Oh, yeah, if we start at 10, because that starts 9:30, yeah. 10th of
Yeah.
April.
No.
No? Okay.
How about
I'll keep
into
going.
March? The March 6th, 13th, 20th.
6 doesn't work for me.
How about the 13th? 13 good? Friday the 13th?
Wow, that's actually a very lucky day. Is that not during March break? That, I mean,
No, I think the 20th.
when is it? Oh, it's late. Okay. Friday the 13th?
Yep.
Well, no, it's best to have him in person. He's the chief.
Well, it's a workshop, so it's a working session, but you can.
Yeah. Sure.
The 20th was the newest one? Yeah.
Or, sorry, the 20th or the 13th? I thought we were talking lucky 13th. Which one's better? Oh, you're good with 20th? Okay.
Are you good this one?
Yeah. Don't poke it around me because baby do that.
Okay. Confirming March 20th? Yes?
Okay.
Yeah? Okay.
Um,
It is. Yeah.
the list of upcoming events are there before you. And I would like a motion now to move into private for the purpose of considering confidential items pertaining to legal and personal matters in accordance with section 42 subsection 2 of the Community Safety and Policing Act. Moved by member Vice Chair Jackson, seconded by member Purchell. All in favor? That carries.